YouTube, how's it going? Stacy over here at Make It a Blockbuster Night. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a minute since I've done a video, but figured this is a good time to come back and do a video. And we are going to be talking all about the 90s today. And this is a video for Tim over at Tim Talks Talkies 90s Challenge, where I challenge everybody to post their top 25 movies of the 90s. So I am going to tackle that. And like most have said, this was not an easy task. Took a few days to get this settled, but I think I'm fairly happy with my top 25. So we're going to get into that. And just a reminder, I believe Tim's stream where he's going to tally up everything and announce the final results, I believe, is on April 8th. So be on the lookout for that. But let's get into this. And I'm not going to do any honorable mentions or anything, so I'm just going to get into my top 25. And coming in at 25, it is a John Singleton movie, but probably not the John Singleton movie that most of you, when you think of John Singleton, is the first thing that comes to mind. I have seen a couple people have that movie in their top 25, but I am picking this one. Saw this in the theater. Really good movie, great cast as well. It's got Jennifer Connelly, Ice Cube, Omar Epps, Michael Rappaport, Christy Swanson, Lawrence Fishburne, and that is Higher Learning. And you're going to see most of these are going to be, these are all either on Laserdisc or there's a few VHS that I didn't have Laserdisc for, but there we go. And number 25 is Higher Learning. Coming in at number 24, another film, another Lawrence Fishburne movie, Fishburne movie, actually. Another one that doesn't get talked about a whole lot, and that is Searching for Bobby Fischer. And so that is my number 24. Another movie that if you guys have not seen, I highly suggest trying to go out and find a copy of this. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere or not. Needs a Blu-ray release, does not have one. I don't even know if it has a DVD release, actually. I've got this, and then I've got a clamshell VHS. But so that is my number 24. Coming in at number 23, probably another one I have not seen on anybody's list yet, I believe. It is a Brendan Fraser movie, but one that most people probably don't think about, and that is With Honors. This has got an awesome cast as well. Joe Pesci is amazing in this. It's got Moria Kelly, who is in The Cutting Edge, Patrick Dempsey, Josh Hamilton. And like I said, With Honors, another one that needs an update physical media-wise. This does not have a Blu-ray as well. It has a DVD release, which I believe is a snapper case, and that is full screen. This is the only way, at least in the US, that this was ever released in a widescreen. So another one I highly recommend if you guys have not seen this before, but With Honors. Coming in at number 22, another kind of very fun movie of the 90s. Another one with a great cast. Another movie that I believe is highly underrated. Doesn't get talked a lot about, and just a fun movie overall. And that is Indian Summer. Like I said, another one that has an amazing cast. This has got Alan Arkin, Matt Craven, Diane Lane, Bill Paxton's in this, Elizabeth Perkins, Kevin Pollak, Julie Warner, Kimberly Williams, and Sam Raimi has a pretty funny role in this as well. So if you guys have not checked out Indian Summer, highly suggest this one as well. And it's sticking on the hidden gems and underrated movies of the 90s. Coming in at number 21 is The Thing Called Love. Another great cast. River Phoenix, Samantha Mathis, Dermot Mulroney, Sandra Bullock is in this as well. And I believe it's another one that I do not think this has a Blu-ray release either. I know it has a DVD release I have somewhere, but the VHS release as well, I think I own somewhere as well. But that is my number 21. Coming in at number 20 is The Last Boy Scout. Love this movie. I remember seeing this in the theater. And another one of these 90s movies that I've probably seen this movie 100 times. But awesome. Very quotable movie as well. Halle Berry's in this as well. Damon Wayans, Bruce Willis. Very young Scream Queen. Danielle Harris is in this as well. So that is my number 20. Coming in number 19, I've seen this pop up on a few people's top 25 list, and it's got to be on mine. Another one, pretty sure I saw this in the theater as well, but this had to be Point Break. Really awesome Laserdisc release. And one of these that pops up, and then you got more of the Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze goodness on the inside. So that was my number 19. Moving on to number 18. Another one that had to be on my list, which I do not think I've seen this on anybody else's list, but none other than The Sandlot. Ham Porter, Squints, Yaya, all the boys. Another awesome movie of the 90s. Another one that I've probably seen this over 100 times, but had to be in my top 25. Moving on to number 17. Another one that I would say is a very underrated movie. Another hidden gem of the 90s. Another great cast. And that is Beautiful Girls. This is, I believe, a Ted Demme movie. This cast is pretty amazing. You've got Matt Dillon, Lauren Holly, Timothy Hutton, Rosie O'Donnell, Natalie Portman, Michael Rappaport, Mia Servino, Uma Thurman. So another one, highly suggest if you guys have not seen Beautiful Girls. Alrighty, we get into number 16. And this is a movie that I think is probably the movie I've seen the most in the theater ever. I think I went to this 5 or 6 times in the theater. Classic 90s action movie. One of the best of the 90s. And that is Speed. Cool Laserdisc release of that. So that is my number 16. My number 15. Another movie that I saw multiple times in the theater. Not as many times as Speed, but several times. And that is Twister. No, they are making a sequel to this, so we'll kind of see how that goes. But anyway, there is Twister. That was number 15. Number 14. This is on about everybody's top 25 list. Surprised it's not a little higher in mine, but it was my top 10. It was hard getting stuff in there. But that is number 14, Jurassic Park. So I know Tim will like that it's in my list as well. There is the back, and you should enjoy the Laserdisc. And this one is pretty cool. Opens up, and it's got the park entrance. So awesome one there. Alrighty, coming in at number 13 is another classic of the 90s. This has been in pretty much everybody's top 25 list. A lot of top 10s, a lot of top 5s. Comes in at number, 13 on mine. And that is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Another awesome Laserdisc release. Another one that does pop open. We get some more good Arnold goodness on the inside. So there we go. That is 13. Alrighty, coming in at number 12. Another one. I did not get to see this in the theater. Wish I would have. But I know I rented it day one from Blockbuster when I was working there. And then I immediately bought it. And that is The Crow. The late, great Brandon Lee. So Awesome Laserdisc release of that. And that was my number 12. We get into my number 11. And that is my favorite of the Disney movies from kind of that generation of Disney classics. And that is Aladdin. I don't know if I've seen Aladdin show up in anybody's top 25. I know I've seen The Lion King a couple times. This one, The Lion King was close. I mean, I think I like Aladdin a little better, so that's why it's in my top 25. I think I've seen Aladdin way more than The Lion King, but awesome Laserdisc of this as well. This is a CAV letterbox Laserdisc edition. So there is that. That is my number 11. Alrighty, we're into my top 10. And I don't think I've seen this one show up on anybody's top 10 list or top 25 list at all. This had to be in my top 25. Top 10 actually. This is another one I did not see in the theater. This was a blind rent day one when I was working at Blockbuster, but another one just like The Crow that I had to buy immediately after seeing it, and that is Go. Another great 90s movie, another great stellar cast. Taye Diggs, William Fichtner, J.R. Freeman, Katie Holmes, Breckin Meyer, Jay Moore, Timothy Olyphant, Sarah Polley, Scott Wolf. And can't recommend this enough if you guys have not seen this or people have not seen this. Check this out. Does not have, or the Blu-ray of this is out of print, so hopefully someday we'll get a re-release of this. It's a Columbia, so hopefully someday we'll get the re-release of this. But highly recommend that, and that's in my top 10. That's number 9, or number 10 actually. Number 9. This has been in pretty much everybody's top 25 list as well. Lots of top 10s, top 5 or so for this. But the movie that redefined horror in the 90s, and it's in my list as well, and that is Scream. So there we go. That is my number 9. Number 8. This was one of the probably more memorable theater experiences I've ever had. I actually saw this in a second run theater back in the day. Went to the movie. This movie, the theater was packed to start, and by the time the movie got over, I think there was me and my friend and 2 other people that had stayed and actually finished the movie. Everybody else like left in the middle of the movie. But that is Pulp Fiction. Definitely had to be in my top 10 of the 90s. Such an amazing movie, and it's the 90s. The cast was stellar. Soundtrack is so stellar. Alrighty, I'm going to give you one guess what's coming in at 7. This pretty awesome 7 Laserdisc. This was another one I did not see in the theater, but it was a day one rental and a purchase almost immediately after. So that is number 7. Coming in at number 6. Another one just like 7 that did not see in the theater, was a day one rental and almost immediate purchase. Now own all kinds of copies of this, and that is Leon the Professional. Amazing movies. So definitely had to be in my top 10. Alrighty, we're gonna get into the top 5 now. Probably a lot of shock value in my top 5. A lot of stuff I have not seen. One of them, I think I've seen pretty high on a couple people's lists, but most of the stuff I haven't really seen on too many lists at all. But my number 5, I know Mel will appreciate this. I got some Woody Harrelson in my top 5, and that is White Men Can't Jump. Another movie that, I don't know, I couldn't even tell you how many times I've seen this. I bet it's well over 100 times. Own this on all kinds of formats. But this was easily in my top 5 for 90s movies. So awesome movie. Alrighty, we're going to get to number 4. This is another one I saw in the theater multiple times. Had to be in my top 5, no question about it. This is probably, I think this is in my top 15 or top 20, top 10 or 15 probably movies of all time, and that is A Few Good Men. Another movie from the 90s with an insane talented cast. Obviously Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak is awesome in this. You've got Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon. And there's another one that's got the open up. So, really awesome there. Alrighty, now we're into the top 3. My number 3 of the 90s. This had to be in there, and that is Clerks. Easily my favorite Kevin Smith movie. Easily one of my favorite movies in the 90s. This is probably in my top 20 movies of all time as well. Another one I did not see in the theater when it was released, but again, a day one rental and almost an immediate purchase after the fact. So that is my number 3. And my number 2, and this is actually my 3rd favorite movie of all time. I know Huck had this in his top 25. I was super stoked to see that. Another movie that does not get talked about nearly enough at all. An Alan Parker film, and that is The Commitments. Like Huck said, if you guys have not seen this, do your best to try to find a copy of this and watch this. It's another one I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I know it has a Blu-ray release. I got one a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. I have that. I have this on VHS, 2 or 3 different DVD copies, but this is my number 3 favorite movie of all time. And coming in at number 1, basically 1 and 2 were super easy for me to pick because these were 2 movies that are in my top 3 movies of all time. This is my number 2 favorite movie of all time. Some of you that you know me know this, but anyway, that is Empire Records. This was a no-brainer to be my number 1. The soundtrack is amazing. This cast is awesome. Just a fun, awesome movie. So there you go, my number 1. I doubt anybody else has got this as their number 1. All right, guys, that is it. We got through my top 25 for the 90s. That takes care of that. I will try to get back into making some videos again on a regular basis. So you guys can hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, ring the bell, whatever those terminology are. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever you guys want to do. You guys can also find me over on Instagram at Make It a Blockbuster Night. Brain dead there. I'm on TikTok as well. All those links will be down below. All right, guys, until next time.